What is up, guys, and welcome back to the video. And today we have 10 Marvel and DC conspiracy theories. And before we start the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more because it really helps us, guys. Anyways, number 10, Peter Parker was in Iron Man 2. Though the rights to Spider-Man belonged to Sony in 2010, Marvel may have figured out a way to secretly include him in Iron Man 2. After watching Civil War, which came out this year, it is very clear that Peter Parker is Tony Stark's #1 fan. Tony Stark was easily able to convince Peter Parker to join in his team, despite the fact that they barely knew each other. What if this wasn't the first time Peter met Tony? According to a fan theory, Peter made his first appearance in the MCU when he was only 10 years old. Do you guys remember that boy who appeared in the climatic fight scene from Iron Man 2? Well, there's a possibility that that young boy might be Peter because he was willing to do anything to help his hero in a battle. Also, it may or may not be a coincidence that the finale of Iron Man 2 takes place at the Stark Expo in Queens, New York, which just happens to be the hometown of Spider-Man. Number 9, Robin is a perfect weapon against Batman. Dick Grayson, also known as the first Robin, became one of the greatest sidekicks in the history of comics. At the time, the DC comic editors used his character to act as a sounding board for Batman. Also, the writers were hoping that Robin would appeal to a younger audience because some kids were not interested in reading a story about an adult in a bad costume who fights crime. What if this actually wasn't Robin's true purpose? Some fans believe that there is another reason why DC decided to create this iconic superhero. As many people know, Batman's greatest fear is turning evil. Batman is extremely intelligent and strong, so if he ever joins the dark side, someone needs to know how to stop him. Maybe Robin's main purpose is to make sure that Batman never becomes evil. Batman trains kids and teaches them everything he knows so one day, if necessary, they could stop him from turning evil. Number 8, Loki lost to the Avengers on purpose. Many people consider Loki one of the best villains in the MCU. He may not be the strongest character, but his intelligence helps him come up with genius plans. In the ending of the first Thor movie, Loki falls into a black hole and it seems like he's lost forever. Fans soon realize that he actually did not die. Loki just traveled through the vastness of space and met a supervillain named Thanos. He tells Loki that he will let him rule Earth if he helps him find the Tesseract. Some fans don't understand why Loki, a supreme god, would want to rule an insignificant planet like Earth when he has already ruled Asgard. In one scene, Agent Coulson says, "You won't win because you lack conviction." Maybe the reason why he lacks conviction is because his plan was never to conquer Earth in the first place. At the ending of the first Avengers, Loki gets taken to Asgard. Everyone who watched Thor: The Dark World knows that Loki is exactly where he wants to be. Number 7, Red Skull is still alive. Although many fans love the MCU, most of them can admit that the villains aren't always the greatest. One of the few villains that many people really liked was Red Skull, and he's the arch nemesis of Captain America. In the first Captain America movie, many people truly believe that Red Skull died. But all of that changed as soon as they watched the Avengers film that came out in 2012. One of the most popular theories behind Red Skull still being alive has to do with the power of the Tesseract. This device was used to help Loki return to Asgard at the end of the Avengers. Maybe when the ship went down, the Tesseract teleported Red Skull somewhere in the universe. This theory may be true because the director of the first Avengers, Joe Johnston, goes out of his way and makes it seem like Red Skull's death is one of assumed intent. Number 6, Dr. Manhattan created the DC Universe. Alan Moore and Dave Gibbon created Watchmen, also known as one of the most iconic graphic novels to ever exist. In the graphic novel, Dr. Manhattan is framed for the destruction of New York City and annihilation of millions of people. He decides to leave Earth and considers creating it in another galaxy. In case you didn't know, Dr. Manhattan has many powers including the ability to create life, travel across dimensions, perceive time in a non-linear fashion, and reverse entropy. If he actually did create the DC Universe, then you should probably thank Dr. Manhattan because without him, your favorite superheroes would not exist. Number 5, mutants do not exist in the MCU because of Hydra. Obviously, the real reason why we really don't see mutants in the MCU is because Fox currently owns the rights to the live-action X-Men. Some fans believe that this is not the only reason why X-Men characters do not make an appearance in the MCU. In this theory, Hydra splits off from Germany and stops Hitler from starting the Holocaust. As a result of Magneto never being imprisoned, he does not discover his powers. This is why he did not meet Charles Xavier. Also, Professor X never created his special school, so that explains why there is not an X-Men in the MCU. Mutants still exist, but they keep their powers a secret because they're afraid of everyone looking at them differently. Also, Hydra's failure to take over kept the Avengers from ever forming in the Fox universe. Number 4, Superman only has one superpower. The Man of Steel is definitely one of the most powerful superheroes to ever exist, and it seems like he has so many superpowers. He has superhuman strength, speed, vision, breath, energy, and senses, which are all powers he gets from the sun. His only weakness is radiation, specifically the rocks from his home world of Krypton. Comic book writers have led people to believe that he has multiple superpowers, but what if that actually isn't true? Maybe Superman only has one superpower, which is telekinesis. This theory may be hard to believe, but it could be possible that he has telekinesis without even knowing it. If he does have this power, then it would explain why he has so many different abilities such as flight and heat vision. To explain his weakness of kryptonite, the theorist says that the radiation only weakens his mind, which is why it stops him from using his abilities. Number 3, Kyle Rayner was responsible for the N-52 reboot. During Barry Allen's trip back to time to prevent his mother's murder, he changed the history of the universe. Since he decided to save his mother, Barry never became the Flash and the Justice League never existed. This one act resulted in the future destruction of the world, which is what caused the formation of the New 52 universe. Some fans actually think that Barry is not responsible for the N-52 reboot. There are a few fans who believe that Kyle Rayner created this new universe by becoming the omnipotent Ion and gaining the power to alter time and reality. Basically, he used his powers to rebuild the Green Lantern Corps and modified the rings. He did all this before the reboot, yet, for some reason his actions still carried over the N-52 universe. Maybe this suggests that Rayner is the one who formed this new universe. Number 2, Stan Lee is the Watcher. One of the best parts about the MCU is that the person who created many comic book characters, Stan Lee, has a cameo in every movie. At first, many people thought that Stan Lee's main purpose was to make the audience laugh since almost all of his cameos are funny. But what if he actually plays a Marvel character? It may seem a little unbelievable, but there's a possibility that he might be the Watcher. In case you didn't know, the Watchers are one of the oldest species in the universe, and they are committed to observing knowledge on all aspects of the universe. It would make sense for Stan Lee to be a Watcher because he has appeared in various decades and locations. Number 1, the Joker's origin in The Dark Knight. Ever since the Joker was first introduced in the Dark Knight trilogy, people have been creating theories about his origin. As of right now, his origin is still a mystery, but there are many theories that make a lot of sense. Some people think that he really did give himself the scars to make his wife feel better, while other people believe that he was abused by his father when he was a child. One very popular theory is that the Joker was actually in the military. Not only would this explain how he got the scars, but it can also explain how the Joker knows how to use many weapons. According to the theory, he was a soldier in one of America's Middle Eastern conflicts, and at some point, he became psychologically damaged by his experiences. He is sent back home, and this is when he starts to hate society. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Also, we would really appreciate it if you guys shared the video, and I'll see you guys later.